Good evening. So today's topic is structure of C program. So in the structure of C program, we have going to cover some of the section. That means skeleton of C program. First one is in documentation section. Next one preprocessor, definition, global declaration, main function, and the last one is in subprogram section. So these section which is used to form the structure of C program. So we'll see one by one in the upcoming slide. First one, documentation section. So normally what is meant by document? So document is some of the section that should be covered to the some document. That means we have to specify any name, any author, any other detail like that. So likewise, we using of this documentation in our C program. It consists of set of command line used to specify the name of the program and the author of program and other details. So, for example, we want to write a program for adding of two numbers. We really know what is the program is. Just we see that concepts and operations, then only we know what the program is an arithmetic operation. That means addition of two numbers. So instead of that, we have to specify the name of the program. How do we specify the name of the program in our C program? By using of this command line. So what is the use of that command line? Command which is very helpful in identifying the program features and underlying the logic of the program. So for example, already I said that we using of the program, there is an adding of addition of two numbers. The starting of our program, we have to specify the title, which is the name of the program, add addition of two numbers. So how to specify that? With the enclose with the slash star and star slash. So likewise, that means with the command line. Using of this command line, we have to specify the name of the program in the top of the program. In this command line will not be executable. The compiler is ignored anything in between this command line. We specify the name of the program, right? So already we specify the name, addition of two numbers. It's not executable. The compiler ignored the line because of we declared this line within this command. This is called the documentation. Next one is a pre-process section. So what is meant by pre-process section? Already we know that the program will start the compilation from main. That means the compiler start the compilation from the main function. So before that, we declaring that processor section, for example, has include SPUC. So what is the use of that has include SPUC? SPUC is called as a standard input and output. Which is means the header file. It is also called as a library files. So why it is called as a library file? In this SPUC header file consists of some library functions. That means scanf and printf statement. So what is the use of that scanf and printf statement? Scanf statement is used to getting input from user, and printf statement which is used to print the statement into the screen. Likewise, we have using of some number of preprocessor section before the main. For example, another one library file called include conio.h. That means consolidated input and output. With the use of this library file, we can declaring the CLR, SCR and HCH method. So what is the need of the two method? First one CLR, SCR. So declaring the CLR, SCR screen, after compiling the program in your output screen, declare all the information or any other output in the previous output. Clear all the previous output. The screen will be empty. And then getCGH method. In this method, which is used to print the output into your stream, output stream. Likewise, we using number of preprocessor section in our C program. Next one, definition section. So what it's in by definition section? We have to define the any of the symbolic constants. Likewise, for example, if you has defined PI 3.14, so already we know that PI value is PI equal to 3.14. So we have to define this value PI as 3.14 in our definition section. The definition section always declaring before the main function. So while the compiler starts the compilation, wherever the PI is PI variable is there, the value of 3.14 is assigned as the PI. So this is called as the definition section. Next one is a global declaration section. The global declaration section is used to more than one function throughout the program. That means you have to declaring the variable outside of the main. That is called as a global declaration section. Such that and also the declaring the variables outside of the function too, and also called as global declaration method. Next one, main function. So what is the main use of that main function? The compiler starts a compilation from main function, which is specifically the starting of the C program. Every C program must have only one main function. Without main function, our C program will not be working. So in this main function, we are having another one part, that is a declaration part. What is the using of the declaration part? Now to declare the variables inside the main used in the execute part of the program. We have to declaring inside the executable part, that is called as a local variables. For example, we want to declaring a variable a with a data type of integer. So int a equal to 10. So int is a data type and a is a variable and 10 is the value. So likewise, we declaring these variables inside the declaration part, that is called as a local variable. So after declaring that, we have to go for another part, that is an executable part. How the C program is executed. So the C program always starts with open brace and close with ends with close brace. It contains at least one valid C statement. So inside the braces, at least one statement you have to given inside the braces. So the open and close braces is used to execution of the program begins. The program starts to compilation with the open and close brace. Next one, rules for writing a C program. First one, all the statements should be in lowercase. So all the statements should be in lowercase because the C programming is in case sensitive language. So all the variables or any other letters should be in small. And an uppercase letter only using the symbolic constants. While we using of symbolic constants, for example, we already see that PI value, right? So PI is declaring as an uppercase letter. So the PI is called as the symbolic constant. So at that time, the using of uppercase. Next one, blank spaces is be inserted between the two words, but it not used when declaring keywords and constants and functions. So we using a backspace while we using of two words. For example, inside that value of b, like that, you have to give spaces between the two words, but not in the variables. For example, int a b equal to 10. There is no space between the a and b. And then keywords. We have a 32 keywords in C. At the time we declaring the keywords, we don't using the blank space and constants and functions too. Next one is the program statements can write anywhere between the two braces following the declaration part. The problem statement. The statement will be write anywhere in the open and close braces. That means in the declaration part. The user can also write one or more statement in one line, separating them with semicolon. So in our C program, always enclosed with the semicolon because the compiler identified the line is completed. Likewise, using of the semicolon. So these are rules for writing a C program. How to be executing a C program? So before executing, first you have to create a program. You have to create a program and then compile and then linking the program system library and finally execute the program. So first one, how to create the program. So in our editor, for example, we using of any standard C editor or any other editors to type the program, and we have to save the program with the extension called .c. Why we declaring why we save the program with the extension .c? Because it is a C program. So that we save the program with the extension called .c. So after save the program, just you have to compile the program. So what is shortcut? You have to compile the program Alt plus F9 or compile from compile menu. You just go the compile menu. In the compile tab is there in the compile menu. You just select the compile. The program is compiled. So what is the need of that compilation? Is the process of converting high-level language into machine understandable form. The machine can't understand our program language. So while the compilation the program is converted into machine understandable form. The machine understand only the binary value zeros and ones. Your program is converted into zeros and ones. That is a machine understandable code. It's only the purpose of compiler. And then here is what is the main use of compilation? That is showing errors to identifying errors. What are the errors is in our program? For example, we got the syntax error on any prop compile error or any declaration error like that. So you have to find out the errors. After you have to clear this error, then you have to run the program. So next one, the linking the program system library. So after compiling this, our C program is the collection of predefined functions. Like this already we written in the some standard C header file. That means include stdio.text, folio.text, like that. These functions are used to linking to the program. Therefore, before executing the program, we need to link system library, and then this can be done automatically at the time of execution. And then finally, executing the program. In this executing the program, the process of running and testing the program with the sample data. For example, you have to give the value. For example, adding of two numbers, right? You have to give the value of A and B, like this at the runtime. A equal to 10, B equal to 5. You just give the value at the runtime. It takes the value as and initialize with the A and B, and the process is done. And finally, we got the output of A plus B. So this is called as the executing of C program. At that time, there is a possibility of two types of error. First one, logical error and data error. So what is the logical error? So that means the conditional or control statement cannot match after sequential execution. The conditional statement error, that means, for example, if you're using of A greater than B or A less than B, it's not matched, that is called as a logical error. And control statements, for example, if you're using of any A multiply B, but we want to get the answer of A plus B, that also it is called as a error. Next one, data error. How when the data error should be occurred? So whenever given the input as the wrong, that is it's not in the proper syntax, that is called as a data error. So it is the input statement. So while we given the input, there is some, for example, if you have to given the integer instead of character, that is called as a data error. This is the thing that we have to follow the executing of the C program. So these are the structure of C program. I hope all are understanding about the concept of structure of C program, right? Thank you.